Hey ladies and gentlemen, Alan here with the Contractor License School, and I had some amazing experience building and working on remodeling buildings in North Africa, in Latin America, all the way down to Belize, in Europe, and specifically mostly in the United States, doing everything from residential to commercial to malls to federal, state, all kinds of stuff, even Indian reservations. And so I wanted to touch base with you on just some things. Today's video is called the top 5 construction mistakes. Now we can go through, I could list 10, 15, 20, but I want to go through the top 5 construction mistakes to avoid. And so I was really trying to think about this, some of the things that have caused or I've seen the most devastation with contractors. And so I'm just going to go ahead and go through that. So the first one here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to write on the board. And that first one is safety, okay? Now with safety, I'm also going to put risk, because you got to manage risk whenever you're doing something of value, but whenever you're doing something that you have to go like up on a roof or things like that, you got to make sure that you do a risk analysis on who you're sending up, what kind of equipment you have, things like that. And I'm going to also add legal to this, okay? Now, as you may or may not know, out of all the industries in America, the construction industry has the highest injury rate of all industries in America. People get hurt all the time. Just an interesting statistic. 1 out of every 4 people that use a table saw will lose a finger. And so you can get that stuff because every time someone gets hurt, they go to the hospital, the doctor asks, or the nurse, was this work related? Then once they say yes, they begin to track all that data. So ladies and gentlemen, I can't emphasize enough, whenever you go to a project, make sure you have, specifically in California, your safety dialed in, because now, not obeying safety regulations, you can get some pretty hefty fines. But more important than that, let's keep our guys and gals safe. Number 2 here is basically equipment and material management, okay? We're just gonna scribble there, pretend I was a doctor. That's management, okay? So making sure that you have the right equipment at the right time. I was on a big hotel project in Northern California, and the drywall company came out because we'd gutted the entire hotel. It was back down to studs, and it was an older hotel, 10 stories, and so they show up, and all of a sudden I'm in one of the floors, I think I was about the 8th floor, and I hear all this pounding because the subfloor, all the tile and flooring had been removed, so you could hear the boots on the subfloor really loud. And all of a sudden I back out and I'm like, can I help you guys? And they're like, hey, yeah, we're the drywallers and there's 40 of us here. We can't find our drywaller. The drywall contractor forgot to order the drywall. And so that's a major issue, right? Because not only does it lead to delays, and as you know, in commercial projects, usually every day that you're late or you cause a delay, it's $3,000 a day. That's the general consensus within a contract. But at the same time, it also slows down everybody else, and now it wastes a whole bunch of money on labor that contractor had to pay for sending a staff out there. So that's one of those big faux pas you want to be careful of. You want to avoid that. Make sure that you have equipment and your materials dialed in really good. Make sure you have the proper safety specifications or regulations applied to your staff and team so they know how to use that equipment and also how to store that equipment when they're off site, okay? The third thing is this. The third thing is communication. And I'm going to add, when it comes to communication, I just want to add this, making sure people have the right information. So many times people will be at a job site and they don't have the proper information. I was on one job site and one of the employees was doing all the plumbing at the original specified or specifications that was agreed upon, but then they had been changed before the work began, and the owner of the plumbing company did not tell his worker, and he went through all 10 stories of that, another hotel situation, and installed it all at the wrong place because they didn't communicate. It was not only in the wrong place, but it was the wrong height. It was supposed to be 14 inches and it came in at 9 inches. It had gotten changed because it had to go through some cabinetry in a specific, unique way because it was an older building. So crazy stuff, right? So communication is a powerful tool. Hey, you want to know if you're a good communicator? Ask your spouse, right? Say the fourth thing is this, bidding, okay? Bidding or estimating, okay? I cannot tell you how many times companies have gone either bankrupt or they got themselves in a bad situation where now they're negative, they're in debt because they didn't properly bid the job. Your estimators and your bidders are vital to making sure they're getting all the right calculations, all the right numbers. Of course, they have to be able to read those blueprints great, so they're getting the perfect amount of material that they need to get so that they can estimate that job properly. One of the biggest key components of estimating that usually people fail on is the duration of time. How long does it take? In fact, that's a big killer within construction. Some people will think, oh, this is only going to take 5 days, and in reality it takes 10 days, and that's a really big problem. So be careful of that. And finally, number 5, I want to put this, is the contractor, right? The subcontractor is what I want to talk about. And that's really the key here. The subcontractors you hire can cause delays for your projects. If you're a GC, if they're not moving fast enough, they're not getting the projects done because you haven't actually seen some of their work. You haven't monitored them. Maybe they're a new sub. Make sure you get subs that are high-level subs at the level that you're at. They can complete the work, they can get it done, and they can do it quick, and they can make sure that they're keeping the project going in order and on time. But these are the top 5 construction mistakes to avoid. My name's Alan, Contractor License School. When you're ready to get your license, come see us or go through our curriculum. We do have an entire training program called Construction Project Management, and you can run your foremans and superintendents through that to help them, to guide them, just to give them some more information to level up. It does come with a book, it comes with quizzes, it comes with an exam and a certification certificate at the end. So my name's Alan. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.